We're live! We are live! This is all good. Starting soon. Might have to refresh the laptop to see if we are live. Let's get this old image going. Full screen. Okay, do you want to hit refresh on the laptop? But let's just make sure we're all on the same page.
How do you do this?
Top in the bar, left.
There we go.
Let's see if we are live on here. We're live. Starting soon. Might have to refresh the laptop.
Ooh,
have a delay though.
Bit of a delay. But we're on, people.
We are on.
We're on.
So
Episode 3 podcast is on.
So even though we've done a bit of chatting already, do you want to mute that now? Let's make sure we're still going. In the usual place where sound is, this is the high quality broadcast that we are known for. Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Black White Soul and WWLeeTV's wrestling podcast.
Hello and welcome, everybody.
Today we're on my channel, so hope you can find us, Lee's subscribers.
If you're listening in, Brett Glover, shout out to you, man. Hope you're doing well. And Sam Tier, if you're free and listening, shout out to you as well.
Woo! Okay, there's a chat option, though actually I can't see it with the current setup we have. We might have to think about that in the future. Is there a chat on the other screen? We've got a chat on that screen, so I think we can see. Oh no, you need to sign in to have chat.
Okay, yeah.
All right, we'll figure this out. We're getting there.
It's teething problems. Yeah,
teething problems.
we're getting there. Episode 3, though, it's underway.
Yes, and of course we have to talk about the American Dream. Dusty Rhodes, unfortunately, has passed away. It's a huge loss to the wrestling world. Lee, what do you know about Dusty Rhodes, being a modern / old school fan?
I done a little video on this the other day, just explaining how Dusty Rhodes, I don't know a great deal about him because he was a bit before my time. But I have seen matches, I have seen promos. Obviously, the classics, like the promo he did for the Hard Times and the cage match with Ric Flair. I watched that very recently. So I don't know a great deal about him. But what I do know, he was a hell of a talker and he was a hell of a character. And I can see what kind of mark he's left on the business and the impression that he made on all the up-and-comers, NXT and on the main roster. He touched so many of their lives and he was a big character from WWE, and yeah, it just sucks.
Yeah, absolute legend. I had a bit of Dusty when I was growing up, because I watched from early 90s, so there was like some of his stuff still around. And then of course as Goldust came in, and Dusty would come on and off screen as like general manager characters. I saw him in TNA for a while, he was like the manager there. And of course WCW. He's had his parts, and then of course bringing in Cody Rhodes, and as I was watching as he came in and then became part of the legacy, nice way to bring him in, bringing him with Dusty, then getting into a feud straight away with Randy Orton. Yeah, and then oh my god, the Shield versus Goldust and Cody with Dusty at the side. It's gonna be your Huckleberry all night. Just such a good moment. And like Dean Ambrose taking the bionic elbow and selling it like it was a gunshot. Had to happen. Just absolutely lovely moment. That was just like the best Rhodes moment that's going to happen. Bless them all.
See, this is what I love about the network. Because I didn't get to see a lot of Dusty when I was younger, I can actually go back and watch it now. Stuff from WCW. I mean, have you seen the documentary that they done?
I haven't seen it yet.
It's really well done. Really touching. But it's just stuff like that on the network that I now get to use and see Dusty in his glory. So
So maybe my hand is just a little bit too big. Maybe my belly's just a little bit too big. I'll tell you about hard times. Hard times is getting pulled out, being given a watch, and getting your ass kicked out the door. And here, a computer just took your job.
Took your job. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Rest in peace, Dusty Rhodes.
And heartfelt feelings goes out to Cody and Dustin.
Absolutely. Thoughts are with you.
Right, we will get on with our show after that sad. Like, Money in the Bank did actually start off with a really nice tribute video to Dusty and all the wrestlers on the ramp. Paige, you could see her tear. Well, you could see it post them in tears, even Vince McMahon himself. So definitely a heartfelt loss for the wrestling community.
Hell yeah.
Right,
So
Money in the Bank, which started off with the Money in the Bank match. Going into this, who did you think was going to win?
I thought Roman Reigns. I thought Roman Reigns had that. I looked at it as, okay, so Dolph Ziggler he's had it before, cashed in, he won't get it again. Randy Orton the same. Obviously, as amazing Adrian Neville is, no way was he going to win. And Roman Reigns, compared to Sheamus, out of the two, yeah, Roman Reigns for me. I really didn't think nor want Sheamus to win that match.
Well, I could have seen it going to Neville as like an outside thing, and then you could have had a nice feud between him and Seth, which then, because of the character Neville is, he would have cashed it in fairly, and then you could have had a rivalry that Seth wins, making him look strong coming into Lesnar, but that didn't happen. My other thought would have been Kane, because you've had this feud sort of building and not building for the last few months. Kane could have won, and then we could have a feud between Kane and Seth. Again, it's someone that Seth can go over, looking strong going into Lesnar. But that didn't happen. We got Sheamus, who really we want to see Sheamus versus Seth. Do we want to see Sheamus versus Lesnar? A lot of people probably would like to see Sheamus versus Lesnar because he might actually kill him.
I just felt so deflated when he got it. I was like, no way has that just happened.
Because he was doing nothing, then he got injured. He came back, which I quite liked him being this heel, but he's done nothing with it. And he's, to my recollection, has lost most of the matches he's been in. So I don't know, unless they're going to do some sort of major overhaul to him. He's going to join the Authority, something like that. Apart from,
I can definitely see his heel run going into perhaps the Authority as their new guy.
Well, they have to, because he is just a guy that comes out and loses. Like, Dean Ambrose is far stronger than he is in, like, sort of power rankings or whatever you call them. And, like, he tried walking out, and we get the joy of a Randy Orton Sheamus feud at the moment.
Yeah, because we haven't seen that before.
Oh, which is a shame. Like, they had a really good match once on SmackDown, which I really enjoyed. But, I don't know, their personalities just don't connect in feuds.
And, I don't know, Randy Orton, I just find him boring these days. They're just both boring. That's the problem. So, I mean, Sheamus having this briefcase, was I hoping he'd just kind of cash it in and lose at the end of Money in the Bank or Raw?
To get rid of it.
Just to get rid of that, you know.
Okay.
But yeah,
we'll have to see. Yeah, that was a disappointing start. Right, on the pre-show, Wade Barrett or King Barrett. Andrew, you can use the door. It's fine.
Go.
Sorry, my flatmate's going upstairs. Wade Barrett lost to R-Truth. What the hell has this guy done to piss off the WWE?
I don't know. I'm stumped.
Okay, it is a fact, he is injury prone. The last two times he's been given a push, he's then been injured for it. But, I don't know, to get buried like this, losing to R-Truth on the pre-show, and also on Raw, let's just cover that now, that he got rolled up by R-Truth and pinned in seconds. I don't know why they keep changing his gimmick. He should still be Bad News Barrett. I don't know why I had to change to King Barrett.
See, that's my biggest issue with this, right? King of the Ring was once this big pay-per-view, and the winner of that would be basically on the road to big things.
Exactly, just like Billy Gunn.
Apart from Billy Gunn.
And just like Mabel.
See, these are the King of the Rings that I haven't seen. So I'm learning bits for the years that I didn't watch.
But no, but we have Bret Hart, Triple H,
Stone Cold.
Austin, yeah.
And he goes from that to pre-showing with R-Truth to getting rolled up on Raw.
And what is the last King of the Ring actual show I remember is the Edge win. Edge's big first moment.
Oh,
Can't. Is there actually any other King of the Rings after that year?
See, these are the ones that I missed.
That was Attitude Era.
Was it?
Yeah. It was, you had Christian versus Edge. You had Rhino versus Angle.
Oh, yeah.
And then it came down to, was it Edge versus Angle? Along those lines. Oh,
Edge versus Angle.
Yeah.
And that was with the hair on the line? No.
No. It's King of the Ring.
King of the Ring.
Because Angle also then had a Shane McMahon match in that night. So he wanted Kurt Angle to wrestle all the way through.
Ah. God, we're going way back there.
Yeah. Was that 98, 99? One of those.
Must have been. Yeah.
But yeah, regardless, that was like the last King of the Ring actual pay-per-view I remember. And it's something different. It's like a cool little tournament on a single pay-per-view. I don't know how well this network special was. I'll be honest, I couldn't be bothered to watch it because it was so, for us in England, it's at such an awkward time, and then everything else comes in, so you just don't have time to watch it and be relevant.
No. We get left behind a little bit.
We do. Stupid times. I wish we could watch Raw live, but we'd be dead.
Yeah.
Especially when I always start at 6 o'clock afterwards. Oh,
I know. We just about managed 2 live events a year, and that's like Rumble and WrestleMania, sometimes SummerSlam, and they're killer. So Raw are live every night.
Yeah. Regardless, yeah, Barrett, I don't know why. This King of the Ring win was pointless, and they're just burying him now. I really don't know what they're going to do with him.
Either he's pissed someone off backstage, or Vince has just changed his mind again, or he's got a nagging injury.
Which, again, could be it. He is injury prone.
Yeah.
Like, we're seeing what they've done with Christian now, because he's injury prone. He just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
They say he's retired, and he's like, I'm not.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we say you are.
What's the deal with that?
Oh.
Poor old Christian.
Right. Yeah, so Roman Reigns getting cost the Money in the Bank by Bray Wyatt.
Oh, Bray Wyatt. I was talking about this the other day, but Bray Wyatt, I mean, you said it before, dude. There's just something missing.
Yeah, I
piece of the puzzle. And it's, I mean, thank God he didn't just kind of come on the Titantron and talk mystically to him. He actually came out and was physically, like, he done a move and everything, but then again on Raw, you just kind of get these words. However good at promos he is, it's just kind of like,
at least on Raw, it built to something with him with that picture of Reigns and his kid. That's a bit more personal than just like,
definitely.
Oh man, this is the dust and the darkness, and then the cat will come out of the cradle, and the dogs will bite the ferrets, and we're gonna come around full circle into Macho Man's brother here. It's like, oh, he makes less sense than Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man at his worst. I don't know.
Well, at least they've got history.
Yeah.
The Shield and Wyatt.
Exactly.
Family feud.
Oh, that was a cool feud.
That was awesome.
Like that. But yeah, and it's weird that they treat Bray like this special attraction. They treat him like the Undertaker before he's earned the damn thing.
Before he's earned it. Yep.
He has not held a single title in this company.
No.
And his win-loss record is not great.
It's really, really shocking.
Yeah. And then everyone that he beats, like he beat Dean Ambrose, #1 contender. He beat Ryback, Intercontinental Champion. So, I don't know, Reigns must be like, yes! He's focusing on me. I'm like going to get a title shot after this. Win or lose.
They are trying to make him Undertaker too early. Like this special attraction, as Ricky said, comes out once every now and then, challenges someone randomly, and then disappears again for another month. And it's silly. It's silly booking because it's hurting him.
Right, now we're over this like quick string of pay-per-views. We'll see with a few more weeks what they do with these two, but I'm not holding my breath because I would die.
Yeah, it wouldn't be fun.
New tag team champions at Money in the Bank. I was shocked at that.
Yeah, I don't think we were actually paying much attention at that point because it was like a bit of a shock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like the primetime players. They've got some personality. Their in-ring has work to do or needs to be improved. And I just thought the New Day are on such a good roll. They're good in ring. They have got their characters down. And they were having such a good run. And now primetime players get it. Could we have not had them, like, New Day get disqualified? Then we can have primetime players chasing. So they've got a bit more of a build to it than just like, here's titles, there's things we like chuck around. Yeah, you have them. Yeah, go on. Everyone can have a go at the titles.
It was just something fun and a bit different, that's all. And I was getting into them having the belts and them in general because New Day rocks.
New Day rocks.
I'm getting into them.
I do, and I find the fact they've lost the title just a shock. And I don't like it when they just make the titles bounce back because I can see the New Day winning it back from them. And there's just no point in that.
Yeah. We'll see what the other two do with the belts.
I can't remember what happened to New Day on Raw. Can you? I think there was some sort of match. Oh yeah.
Oh, was it
Adrian Neville teamed up with them? It was actually quite a good match. Adrian Neville and the Primetime Players versus the New Day, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
The injection of Adrian Neville is sorely needed because the prime times aren't that great. Like, I like Titus. He's a big, powerful dude, but he is just like, he has no natural grace to him.
No.
I love the Clash of the Titus, his sort of sky-high finisher. But, man, he just looks so clumsy walking around that wrestling ring.
He's just too big. And I don't think he's in good enough shape. He blows up quite early, if you notice.
Yeah.
He's out of breath. So we're just going to have to see how these two do with those belts. Hopefully they come into their own a bit more with them because they give them more TV time.
This could be it. This could be purely like New Day. Primetime players, this is your chance. You've got a month to impress us or we'll probably take the titles back off you.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind. At least there's someone different with the titles.
Speaking of tag team, do you miss the Usos?
I don't at the moment.
You don't?
I'd sort of forgotten about them.
Hmm.
I won't lie. I'll probably be excited for when they come back because they always had good matches, like them and the Wyatts.
They did.
Them and Kid and Cesaro.
I can't remember which one's injured, but it must suck for the other one.
Yeah.
Because it basically says, right, you aren't going anywhere without the other one.
You're never, ever going to do anything on your own.
You couldn't possibly have a singles run.
Yeah. Poor guys.
I know, the tag team division, eh? You gotta...
And then, it was getting so hot, and then we lost the Uso, and now we've lost Tyson and Cesaro.
Oh, God, yeah.
So, yeah.
Just when it starts to get on track a little bit.
It happens every time.
Every time, yeah. Sucks.
All right. John Cena beats Kevin Owens.
Oh, yeah. I was really hoping for another big surprise and have Kevin Owens win. It wouldn't have done Cena any harm at all. It wouldn't. It bugs me. It bugs me that they were that predictable. I knew that Cena was going to win. I knew it.
Yeah, I would have preferred it the other way, but at least the way they did it was fine because it's actually given Owens a chance to show a bit more character as well with the apron powerbomb. And Cena was not on Raw. Cena sold an injury.
Yeah. Was he selling an injury or did he have an injury? Because he done
yeah, you never know with him.
Because he done that selling well.
Yeah. But I mean, as in, like, he wasn't on Raw. Usually, like, after his beating with Brock Lesnar, he turned up the next day going, oh, well, I lost the title. No big deal. I just got beaten up for half an hour. It's fine.
Yeah.
Hustle, loyalty, respect.
Oh, God, I love that documentary. Video thing. Yeah.
But, yes. Cena was not on Raw. Kevin Owens was. And I think they've got a better story out of Kevin Owens losing than Kevin Owens winning. So I don't see it as a hugely bad thing.
Well, it definitely made him more aggressive on Raw.
And then get him to show a bit more of his psychopathic side with, do you know what he said to me? He said I belonged here. You don't say that to me. That's just fantastic. That's a good reason to beat someone up because they said, you know, you belong here. Oh, you meanie.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, he is doing his job at getting over as a heel. And generally.
Yes. And since we already touched on it anyway, and Machine Gun Kelly asked him.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Basically, that just turned Kevin Owens into the biggest babyface in the company. I don't think there was a single person in that arena that was not just like, thank God, Kevin, don't let him do another song, if you can call that a song.
Because I'm not going to lie, I fast-forwarded through this bit. And it kind of, I saw Kevin Owens pop up. I was like, shit, I better pause it. Play it again. And then it all got so much better.
And I think it was better because that was the most awkward powerbomb ever. He did land on the most protected, safe mat of all time.
I think that was a bit of carpet on top of some cardboard.
I think it was actually a proper foam mat.
Foam mat?
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah. Because Frank, he's quite a high-paid musician guy.
Yeah.
They're probably not going to let him. Yeah. I'm sure there were lots of things doing this as safe as they did. Were going, can we not hurt our star? What's going on? Even though I've never really heard of this guy. I know he sung Cena in once.
Can you not get powerbombed?
Yeah. But my God, it was so awkward when he was up there. It was like, he's going to drop him. And then just
flailing around. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a huge thing for Kevin Owens getting that beat down of a celebrity.
I loved it. That was a good point of Raw. That was good.
Kevin Owens and John Cena is the highlight of Raw and has been so for the past month since it started.
Yeah.
they're the things keeping me in.
It was getting personal. It definitely would get personal if they carried on.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens, see where they go, see if Kevin's going to start going with other people. Oh, he did have... I thought it was a really good match with Ziggler. I expected probably a little bit better from these two, but it's good just seeing a straight-up match between them.
Can't go wrong with Ziggler and Owens in the same ring. No way.
And I might actually have to watch SmackDown because I think it might be Cesaro and Kevin, but I haven't watched SmackDown yet.
Okay.
And that's reason enough to watch.
Yeah.
The Divas match at Money in the Bank. Okay, the Bellas are twins. But they don't look identical anymore. One of them has bigger boobs, a bigger bum, different color hair. If you're going to do twin magic, at least wear your hair the same as your sister. I'm just saying it's the most stupid thing ever. That makes the ref look like a complete moron for mistaking these two girls as the same. Xavier and Kofi did a better job of twin magic month or so ago. This is just awful. And then the fact that Bree's like, oh, she pinned me, not my sister. And what point did the ref restart the match for Nikki to pin Paige?
Yeah.
That never happened. So technically the match should have been over and restarted, but it was never restarted. They just go straight into Nikki stealing Wade Barrett's finisher, which I'm not a fan of. She's using the bull hammer a lot now.
Yeah. It's just so boring. It's so boring. And it's so sloppy. All of it is just... Oh, the Bella Twins.
But now, on Raw, they're teasing me. Because if they don't bring up people from NXT with this storyline, I am going to be so pissed off.
Look at... Ricky's been, as we've been watching Raw and everything, he's been mentioning about the 4 horsewomen. This is a story that you want to happen.
It is. It makes absolute sense. You just bring up 3 other females from NXT. You bring up Becky Lynch, you bring up Sasha Banks, and of course you bring up Charlotte Flair, Ric Flair's daughter. To team up with Paige, then you've got the 4 horsewomen, and it's going to be the 4 horsewomen versus the whole Divas division. Hopefully culminating in them winning the title, throwing the title away, and bringing in the Women's Championship. That is like my ideal pitch for this. This is what should happen.
Yeah. And honestly, on Raw, it was the first signs of this. It may happen because Paige was pretty much left alone in that locker room and all the Divas are heels and they just turned on her. So it could happen, Rick. It could happen.
Oh, no. I was hoping, oh, go on, Rosa, help her out. You're going to be a big help, you are. Ugh.
Yeah.
Disgusting entity she is.
And don't even mention Eva Marie.
I want her to burn.
The air turns blue, honestly, every time she's on
Oh.
the screen, which is not often anymore, which is great.
Oh, and then she appeared on NXT a few weeks ago. That was bad. Oh. Anyway, that's our Divas division. It's a bit up in the air. It's giving me hope, which is probably going to be trounced on. They're going to probably do something like, okay, we're going to bring in the partners for Paige, and it's Eva and Rosa. Right. The WWE World Heavyweight title. Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins with no help whatsoever.
No.
Looking strong. Dean Ambrose looking damn strong in this as well, because he just would not die.
Mm. And we've been speaking about like Rollins' title run and, you know, how we feel about him recently. And he needed this so badly. And I'm glad it happened. Although I'd love to see Ambrose as the champion, I'm glad Rollins got a clean win because he needs this and he needs to come away from the Authority. So we could be seeing it happen.
And Seth did look vicious with those turnbuckle power bombs to the outside barriers, the powerbomb on the ladder.
Oh my god! I mean, that was brutal. Good
Yeah,
match.
Yeah,
good match.
And it was a really good ladder match for not having many high spots.
Oh.
It's sort of more just brawling and chairs and just pain.
Yeah.
And he did get back body dropped onto the ladder, which snapped. Yow.
And you can just tell that those two trust each other in the ring, and they work so well together. So they just went at it, and it was a good half an hour, I reckon.
Yeah, it was definitely a long match. Though I do not remember ever seeing this finish before, where both guys are on the ladder and they both fall, and then in midair, one of them manages to snatch the title. I don't remember seeing that finish before in a ladder match, which is funny because it seems like quite a no-brainer when you actually think about it.
Yeah, I know.
To have them all both fall.
It was a strange finish. I was half expecting the ref this to be like this decision, like anonymous decision, who won, because it looked like they both grabbed it. So
yeah, but I think it's who has it when they hit the floor, and that was Seth.
Yeah, a good match, and Seth won it clean. So,
and on Raw we got Seth Rollins thanking everyone for his win, which involved Seth Rollins. Yeah, basically thanking himself. And this win has just made him even more arrogant than he was. He's just gotten to the point where he has really pissed off the Authority.
Yeah, this is why I say I reckon he's definitely going to come away from them.
I hope so.
And he may turn face.
It could be.
And if Sheamus is positioned as their new guy.
An Authority without... if the Authority still exists without Seth Rollins, I do not want to see Kane and Sheamus teaming up with J&J everywhere. Oh my God, no! No!
Oh, what an awful way to go.
Oh God, no, it's too terrible to mention.
I know. But yeah,
let's just add Mark Henry in there and the Authority as well. Big Show back as well.
Mark Henry and Kane alongside Sheamus and JJ. Oh, just imagine it.
I love JJ. They're the highlights of that lineup.
They are. Oh, and they got a win over Rollins last week.
They did, but at least he won cleanly in the pay-per-view to himself.
Yeah, he needed that.
Because as we found out at the end of Raw, the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. Oh, that's my throat.
No words were spoken. It was all just handshakes and looks. Loved the moment. I'm glad Lesnar's back because he really is a spectacle. And I had this thing last year where I was kind of like, oh, he's not the champion. He's not around. But Paul Heyman did put it in perspective. It's like Christmas. You don't do it every day because it wouldn't be special. Christmas is once a year because it's special, and we don't see Brock often because he's special.
I do agree with that point, but I still don't really think he should have been champion that long then, if he wasn't around. Because I think it really hurt. Seeing Brock is amazing, but I think it really hurt the product not having your title around for a few months. Like when they had to try and think of a main event without a title,
Yeah.
and they obviously hadn't thought it through beforehand.
No.
Though it did give us that amazing Ziggler moment that, of course, they basically retconned out and was like, oh, Sting's responsible, not the guy that just eliminated those other 3 guys.
Yeah, Ziggler's irrelevant in this situation.
And then won almost by himself until Triple H got involved. No, it was all Sting that did that.
You can see why Ziggler gets pissed and says these things on Twitter and gets in trouble because of things like that. He won that damn Survivor Series match.
And then everyone went out of their way to make sure it was all down to Sting, not mentioning Ziggler.
God damn it. Anyway, where were we?
I'm sorry, we're talking about
Sidetracked
the main event build-up.
Yeah, so Lesnar and Rollins stare down. It's going to happen, but at Battleground, not at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I'm glad because Battleground, I didn't know what I was looking forward to. This does give it a bit more. So having Lesnar on the Battleground pay-per-view makes it actually mean something a bit more because it's a nothing pay-per-view.
It is. You just know.
If you go, hey, Battleground's coming up, it's like, what does that mean? Matches. Just it's like Fastlane means nothing.
And it's right before a big one. It's right before SummerSlam, so you know nothing big is going to happen because SummerSlam's the next month.
But the fact we've got this match.
But yeah, exactly.
Where we go afterwards, what we do, we'll have to see where we're going in the next few weeks. I would love it actually builds to Paul Heyman turning on Brock Lesnar and Seth abandons the authority to go with Paul Heyman.
Love it.
I think that could be a cool angle to go with.
Yeah. Or, well, they've tossed the idea around, but even having Roman Reigns screw over and turn heel and align with Paul Heyman.
So that would have been, I think that would have been my perfect WrestleMania finish. Would have been Roman Reigns winning the title and turning heel, and we just have the biggest booed guy in the company as your heel champion with Paul Heyman every week cutting the promos.
Because he was going to get booed anyway.
Exactly. So you might as well have gone with it.
Jump on it. Would have been awesome.
All right, I think that's basically what's going on in the WWE at the moment. What else did you want to talk about?
So, we've covered a lot of what I've written down here, but if you could choose your next champion, who would it be? Who's your favorite?
My next champion. You know what? I would actually pick Roman Reigns because I think I don't have a huge issue with him. I'm not mad at him because he got to win the main event of the Royal Rumble and Daniel Bryan didn't. It's not his fault. I think he's a good competitor. And I think it's like a Batista when he won it a couple of years ago. You can give it to a guy and just see how they go. Let him be a bit more himself. Don't write promos for him. See how he does. Give him a bit of a sink and swim test. If he fails, then take the title off him, turn him heel, give him a different angle. But I think give him a chance.
I agree. I wouldn't have any issue with Roman Reigns as the champion at all. I wouldn't. You know, he's been in the company a fairly long time now, and he's had some great matches. So Roman Reigns I wouldn't mind.
So who would you actually book?
My pick is Ziggler.
Ziggler. Oh, I would love that.
I think he works hardest out of anyone at the moment in that ring. The passion, the skill, all of it. You
could give him such like a Jericho story as well going into it, because the amount of times he's like been there and just had it ripped out from under him. It's got a Daniel Bryan story to it as well,
and he's always trying to evolve his look. Like he looks like he's just stepped out of the 80s right now.
Yeah,
but my God, he looks cool.
I'm surprised they allow him to wear something with so many logos on it.
I know, and he's just got so much to give and so much character, and I'd just love to see it. I think he'd have a great heel run as champion. I really do. That would be my pick. That would be my perfect.
That concussion just really delayed his career. Sidetracked it.
We can dream.
We can.
So when you sit down and watch Raw every week, like we do,
Kevin Owens, John Cena.
Want to thank Seth Rollins. What would you change? What would be your perfect way to have Raw every week? What would you really?
Okay, let's get rid of the authority. That would be my first thing. That's just, or not get rid of them, but not have them as a weekly character. They only come out when a decision needs to get made. You've got your guy. You've got like a Kane, a J&J. They can hang around. And the Authority, when they appear, you know it means something's going to happen or some announcement's going to be made. Not just like, we're here every week. Fuck you, internet guys. And the worst thing is Stephanie. Stephanie, because you can't beat her. She can say all this crap to you, and you can't do a damn thing to her. No. She can slap you in the face, and because of how the era is, well, nobody really wants to encourage man on woman violence or vice versa, but you can't get that kind of up, and she's never going to take a rock bottom or whatever like she would do in the olden days. No. So you just can't win with her. So she's just annoying as champion because there will never, ever be a comeuppance for her.
Never.
As champion? No, she's definitely not champion, but the Authority is that high figure. So I'd get rid of the Authority, move them more away from screams. Just have wrestlers have a bit more feud. I do not understand how we've added an extra hour of television, but we seem to have less storylines than we used to. Because back in when I started watching in the 2000s, everyone too cool. They'd be having a storyline while Edge and Christian are off here doing their own thing, and the Hardys and Perry Saturn with the goddamn mop. It's still better than the stuff they give poor Bo Dallas. There's someone who's got a really strong character, who I thought was starting a long-time feud with Neville, but that ended.
I just don't understand, as Ricky says, how they can go from doing an hour and a half, 2 hours worth of TV and making it so much more better than a 3-hour show. You know? So much more was going on in different parts of the arena and in the matches and stories, and they crammed it all in, and it was good. But now we've got this extra hour added on, and there's just these pockets of nothing on the show.
But it's not like, because let's be honest, SmackDown is irrelevant.
Yeah.
But back in when we had the brand split era, which I actually really did enjoy, you had two-hour shows to make every week. And there were times when SmackDown was getting better than Raw, then that was actually the better show to watch.
It was.
So that's 4 hours they have. All they've got now is 3 hours, and they've got the entire roster to choose from and pick and change. Not having limited... I think it actually helped having the limited rosters to half and half on a show. But now it's just, I can't understand why we don't have more storylines. We don't need 5 segments of Seth Rollins in the back with other people. How about we give 2 of those? Have 3 segments of Seth Rollins in the back talking to people, and 2 more backstage segments for other characters. Like, give the New Day, oh man, we're going to come up with a plan to get our titles back. And then the primetime players are behind them listening to their scheme, and then they foil it. So we've got matches like, we had like Randy Orton versus Kane. Why? Why did this match exist? It was on Raw. It was just your director of operations in a match for no reason, who he shouldn't be in matches, because he should be making matches. So he's just put himself in a match against Randy Orton with no stakes, with no build, with no, even though it's just a show match, why throw out matches that have no storyline? Tie it into something. This is what makes me angry now. There's just no, they just put out matches for the other guys. Like, how many times have we seen R-Truth and Stardust, and it's not even a rivalry, they're just wrestling.
Just out there. It's nothing that we can actually sit and get behind. You know, like really invest in and watch for 2 or 3 weeks.
Hey, the commentators make it seem like it's really worthwhile watching when they're just like, oh, Michael, how was your sandwich you had yesterday, Michael?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you about the upcoming WWE networks. Oh, I'm going to tell a joke now. Oh, shocky, docky, quack, quack, five-time, quack, shocky.
They're basically telling us not to be interested in the match that we're watching. Like, this is not the match that we want you to be interested in. It's the main event that we're going to talk about. Yeah. Or Michael's sandwich. Brilliant. It's just annoying. And as Ricky said, SmackDown is irrelevant, so I just don't watch it unless I hear anything that's happened, which is very rare. Stuff used to happen on SmackDown, and that will lead me into my next bit that we're going to do with our Money in the Bank cash-ins. But
so basically, I'll break down my points. I would change the commentary team, bring up a fresh commentators from NXT, have them actually call what's going on in the match when it's relevant, and have them talk about network stuff after matches when storyline's not happening. I would remove the authority, give the lower cards more storylines and actual reasons to give a damn about them. And I would keep title changes happening a lot less. There'll be a lot longer title runs with actual meaningful ends, not just switch. Here, catch, here's the Intercontinental title. Oh, your turn, catch. That's the main things I would change. What would be your main things to change on Raw?
First of all, go from 3 hours to 2 hours. I'd bring back on location stuff for feuds, because you know, you try and put out a TV show every week. Your favorite TV show. Would you want to see them standing, talking about the same thing in the same room every single week? No. You want them to go out.
Basically, what Friends is.
Hey, they went out on the streets. They had their coffee shop.
Yeah, the coffee shop.
Joey's apartment. They had stuff.
Isn't that basically every sitcom ever, though?
But they, you know, they had stuff going on. Even if it was across the hall, they had exciting stuff happening. With, you know, my point is just more on location stuff for feuds. I think that's what really helps. Like with Dean Ambrose going out on a train to get a hot dog, to bring it back and shove it in Seth Rollins' face.
And like we got a load of tweets about, or Instagrams or whatever it was, about Ambrose going out. Why didn't you get like videos?
Videos. Exactly.
And it's stuff you could even pre-record before the show goes out. So there you go. You've cut into some of your running time.
Yeah. Also, more depth to mid-card stories. Like actual, like, make them last for like a month. Let me really get into it, you know? A better Divas division. Definitely. So I'm not just kind of looking at my phone while they're on the screen. And just a bit more excitement and different ideas into the main event endings. We seem to end Raw on the same thing every week. DQ or the Authority standing victorious in the middle of the ring. I just want something a bit different to happen each week. Just put a bit more thought into the way you're going to close Raw, you know? Make it like a bit more of a bombshell. I'm going to watch next week because this happened last week. Just stuff like that. I think that third hour just killed it for me.
Yeah. They added a third hour for no reason and didn't have a plan for it. And I don't see how it has made things so much worse. It's like, it's given us time to, we actually get some really good matches on Raw now. But a lot of these matches are matches that don't have stakes. As good as a Ziggler versus Kofi match is, if there's no reason to care about it, you don't care. That's that simple. You need to have a reason to care about matches. Matches shouldn't be matches. Wins and losses should matter.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Venting.
Yeah. Are we going to get onto our question?
Yeah, the question this week. Ricky came up with this one.
What is your favorite Money in the Bank cash-in? Me and Lee are going to do a top 5. Feel free to drop your favorite in the comment section below or on either mine or Lee's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. All those links and stuff will be in the comment section below.
So I've refreshed my memory today and sat and gone through them.
Okay. So have you got 5 or you got actually an order?
I've got a 5.
Excellent. Yeah, I've got them in order as, yeah.
Cool. So number 5 for me is Edge, and he cashed in on SmackDown against The Undertaker.
Yes, yeah.
Which goes back to my point of stuff happening on SmackDown.
And he beat The Undertaker on a SmackDown.
For the title, the World Heavyweight title. And he didn't just kind of come out and pin him. He actually had to work for it just a little bit, which is good. Because
it's the Taker. But again, it's your champion losing. Don't be afraid to let John Cena lose, people. It's not going to hurt him. This is The Undertaker taking a loss. It didn't hurt his career.
No, he's been around 20 years. It's not going to hurt him.
Edge had become a bit established since then, but still, he hadn't been a top guy for that long.
Oh. My number 4.
I'll go number 5. We'll do it
okay, yeah. Ricky's number 5.
My number 5 is Rob Van Dam. Because it was a good moment and it led to a fan fantastic match with one of the best atmospheres I have ever seen. Have you seen this match?
Funny enough, because I was refreshing my memory today,
Yeah.
I watched it.
You watched the match?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
with the beginning and throwing the John Cena t-shirt.
Oh my god!
And the crowd throwing it back at him. Oh my god,
Talk
so
about
good.
hostile territory.
But yeah, but the thing was, this was good because it was different. This was a face winning it, and he's like, right, I'm going to cash in my opportunity here. Let's go face to face then. Because I think this has only happened also with Cena when he cashed in on CM Punk and failed.
Yep.
I think that's the only other time I can remember it being like, I am cashing this in, and we're going to have this match here at this date. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So that's why I quite liked an Adrian Neville to do it, because that would be something, because we've done a lot of these sneaky wins. Right, your number 4.
My number 4 is my boy, and Daniel Bryan cashing in on the Big Show. And this was at a time after a long, long break from wrestling that I came back, and he was just this guy. I was like, who the fuck is this? He's like 5'8". And I got really into him really quickly. And Daniel Bryan comes in, cashes in on Big Show.
So were you actually watching wrestling at this point, or was this the Royal Rumble where you got into it?
This is the one I got back into it. Yep.
So did you go back and watch this beforehand then?
I did, yeah.
Because when you came into it, it was the title match between Daniel Bryan
and Mark
Henry and Big
Cage
Show.
match. Yep. So I was like, right, I want to, because he seemed to be quite over, and I thought I want to find out why. So I did, and I went back and watched and saw that match where he cashed in. So yeah, for me that was pretty damn cool, and he was definitely getting over at that point there. So Ricky, what is your number?
Number 4 for me is actually the big red monster Kane, because he did something that hadn't been done before. He won the Money in the Bank and cashed it in under an hour later. Rey Mysterio defended his title, got a leg injury, and then Kane just beat him up and took his title.
Kane.
And it was, I didn't know I'd vote for a Kane win as well, but he looked a bit better then. And yeah, it was something different. Again, like cash it in the same night. Genius move.
Exactly.
You'll never see it coming.
I'd like to see that again at some point.
Your number 3.
My number 3, RVD.
Hey.
Now, this happened during the time that I wasn't watching wrestling, but I heard about it happening. So what does that tell you? Because I heard about John Cena arriving at this ECW arena and having the fans completely almost boo him out of the arena. I mean, he was getting threats.
Oh, so hostile.
So hostile. And I actually watched this happen. Like, I think it was on YouTube. And the crowd and the pin itself, just an amazing moment. And RVD won the title. I couldn't believe it. So,
unfortunately, he completely messed up.
Yeah.
Got caught that night with drugs in a car, and the title was stripped from him.
Yeah.
But that was all self-inflicted. He had his greatest moment in wrestling, and then he squandered it.
Heartbreaking from a fan's perspective.
Yeah.
But I sat and watched the match today.
But yeah,
really enjoyed it.
Suggest you go and watch that. It was the second one night stand. Second one night stand.
Yeah,
which is funny calling it one night stand.
One night stand. It's happened again.
Yeah,
once in a lifetime.
Right, my number 3 is Edge cashing in on John Cena, the first ever Money in the Bank cash in. This was at the peak of the Cena booing thing. They'd been trying their best to quell it. Kurt Angle was getting cheered over Cena. They were going to start a Christian versus Cena feud, but they didn't do it because of Christian's popularity. Would have just made this booing happen even more. The crowd just completely turned on on Cena in this Elimination Chamber match. And you had people like Chris Masters and Carlito, who were huge heels, getting cheered over Cena at the time. And yeah, Cena won. He retained. The crowd were booing. Vince McMahon comes out and announces Edge is cashing in his Money in the Bank title. This is the first, because Edge had been specifically saying this year he's going to use it to get into the main event of WrestleMania. That's what he was going to use the Money in the Bank to do. But he cashed it in here. Nobody expected it. After Cena's gone through a Elimination Chamber match and becomes the R-rated superstar champion.
So is he the only ever superstar to have cashed in twice and been successful?
Yep. Wow. I think he's the only superstar to cash in twice, isn't he?
Yes.
I think he's the only one to have it twice. Though I think the second time he had it, he didn't actually earn it. He re-earned it off someone,
Hmm.
I think.
Either way, well done, Edge.
Yeah. Right, you're number 2.
My number 2, a moment that I've always wanted to see is someone cash in at the end of WrestleMania in front of thousands of people. And it happened this year. Rollins cashing in on Roman Reigns, pinning him, becoming the champion. Great moment, fireworks. And just to see someone that came from NXT be on the grandest stage holding the belt.
Roman Reigns came from NXT.
I know. But holding the belt at the end. That's the moment that I wanted.
So you'd have been happy if Roman Reigns had beaten Lesnar?
I wanted him to beat Lesnar.
Yeah.
I did, but I mean, going back and watch my live cam, you'll see how excited I was when Rollins come out. I'm a big Rollins fan, so yeah. That cash in there for me was my number 2.
Mine's actually the Daniel Bryan one. Ooh. Because Daniel Bryan was sort of doing nothing. He got kicked out of the Nexus before it barely started due to choking Michael Cole with a tie. And that's not allowed to be on TV. And then they brought him back. He had this sort of feud with The Miz, took his US title away from him. Had a really weird storyline where he was actually... The Bellas were fighting over him.
Yeah.
But then it turned out he was already in a relationship with Gail Kim. Oh, yeah. And that they just didn't know what to do. They kept giving him the weird storylines. Just give him something. But he would just go out and they'd put him, it's like, fine, you're the curtain jerker. Go out there with Dolph Ziggler, go out there with Ted DiBiase. And he was having matches of the night. Anyone he would wrestle would be a phenomenal match. So the crowd were just picking up steam behind him. They shockingly let him get a Money in the Bank title shot. And then in people that you didn't really want to have the title, in Big Show and Mark Henry fighting over it. So it was a nothing match. Henry destroys Big Show. Everyone's like, oh, for God's sake. And then the music hits. Daniel Bryan cashes in. And this 5'9" guy is your world heavyweight champion. And he just slowly turns. We get the yes chants, the sideways going. He becomes arrogant. Oh, he just gets such personality and starts what was a fantastic story leading to a fantastic WrestleMania moment.
That was his launching pad, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing moment. So, I'm
assuming our number 1 might be the same.
I'm looking at each other here. I think we both know. But it was a moment that I will never forget. My number 1.
Night after WrestleMania?
Night after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Night after WrestleMania 29.
Oh, the crowd was so good that night. And then there was a Del Rio match. It was like, nobody really cares about Del Rio. But he won his match. He's got a bad leg. He's rolling there in the ring. The crowd are already chanting, Ziggler, Ziggler. I'm here to show the world. I'm here to show the world. Come on. Oh, the crowd erupted in like one of the biggest pops I have seen in years. Ziggler gets in that ring. We have a little of a kerfuffle. They're fighting back and forth. Zigzag is hit. And we have a new world heavyweight champion. Oh.
Just thinking of the thunderous 1, 2, 3. Ah, amazing, amazing, amazing. So good. And he'd walked around with that blue briefcase for months. For months. And we got our payoff. So good. And it was in front of the post-WrestleMania Raw crowd.
Biggest crowd.
And it was probably one of the best.
Crowd.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just a huge moment. And you could tell it was like a legit moment for him as well. And like the crowd as well, just loving it.
Oh, it's so good. But it just, unfortunately, the title run didn't last all that long because of his concussion.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Jack Swagger.
And then they did a really good job of doing a double heel and face turn with Del Rio and him, which I thought was going to lead to him chasing the title, but then they're like, nah. We'd much prefer Big Show to chase it. Good. Or Sheamus. Yay. Well done.
I know. I thought that was the moment that Ziggler was going to be on the path to greatness. I mean, he is great, but I mean, main event status every month, you know. But great cash in. Bet my favorite one. Absolutely.
So it's a shame. This is where now, since we got rid of the world title and we merged them, This is where the Intercontinental title should be. That this guy is, he could be a champion in a year or so. That's what the Intercontinental title should be. But it's now just, it's so like beaten and bruised that it's going to take a lot to rehab it. Don't really think a feud between Ryback, Big Show, and Miz is going to be much of a rehab.
No.
But frankly, I think the US title's now overtaken it in importance because that title has been protected. It's had 3 owners in the past 3 years. Only 3 people have held it.
Yeah.
Ambrose, Rusev, and Cena.
Yeah.
And they've all had really long runs with it. They've all defended it. They've all been really strong when they've had it.
And it's main evented a pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
What does that tell you? That's definitely more important than the IC at the moment.
So yeah, so the guy that finally takes it off Cena, that should be a big moment. And frankly, I can see that being Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens. I want it to be Kevin Owens, absolutely. Yeah. And I'd like to see him go back to NXT with the belt.
That would be funny. He'll definitely do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we start getting sidetracked on other things, I believe we have discussed all we need to today. We'll leave you with the question. We've told you our top 5 cash-ins. Let us know your cash-ins, your best moments. Let us know what you would like to change in the WWE's current product.
Let us know what you think about the Rollins and Lesnar match coming up, how you would book Raw, the Divas division, all the things we covered today. Just put them in the comments section below.
If you want us to cover a particular topic, please leave that in there as well. If you want us to say our thoughts on particular wrestlers, go back and look at old shows, whatnot, let us know. We're up for change. We're say this is episode 3, so we're up to really settling in, trying different things.
And you haven't got to just leave it in the comments section. We're on Twitter, so we can get a conversation going on there. You've got at WWLeeTV and at blackwhitesoul. So just get a conversation going here. I'd love to hear from you.
So until next time, like, subscribe, share, and TTFN.
Ciao for now, people.
Okay, now after saying that, I've got to figure out how to actually stop this live broadcast. So yeah,
thank you for listening, guys. Thank you.
Feel free to check out our stuff. I've got my gaming stuff I also do, which I'm trying to get back into. My channel has been a bit quiet lately because I've been revamping. I'm also going to be doing a new the endless thing.
Screenception.
Yeah,
Screen.
I'm also going to be doing a new thing of trying to do the whole plot of Raw, SmackDown, and NXT in 1 minute. That's going to be my upcoming project. So I'll be starting that probably from next week.
Nice.
So, goodbye.
Goodbye, people. Much love.
See. Do we get anything in the chat? No, I can't see any there. We've got 1 viewer. Hey, 1 viewer.
Hey, 1 viewer. If you're Brett, shout out.
Woo! Yeah, we're actually going now. Thank you.
Are we sure we're going?
This is the professional level we have right now.
I don't want to go.
It's like, you hang up. No, you hang up.
You hang up.
And I'm going to get the last word in. Bye.